She left me for dead until she saw what my father left me. My life used to feel like a battlefield, and the architect of most of my suffering was my own older brother, Lucas. From the earliest memories I have, Lucas had this way of making every day unbearable. Later, I discovered something even more devastating. Not only had he turned my life upside down, but he had also betrayed me in a way I could have never imagined. He had gotten my wife, Emma, pregnant, and our son wasn't even mine. Now, Lucas had the audacity to crawl back into my life after our parents had disowned him and left me their substantial inheritance, over $2 million. I have a younger brother, Nathaniel, who for as long as I can remember, despised me with a passion that wasn't jealousy, it was something darker. I wasn't the favored child in the family, Nathaniel was. So the usual rivalry explanation didn't fit. From the start, my mother had spoiled him rotten. She cooked his meals, washed his clothes, and even expected me to assist him with schoolwork while she ignored my needs. I came to accept it as part of life, perhaps naively thinking it was normal for a younger sibling to be pampered. But Nathaniel's behavior went far beyond favoritism. He thrived on tormenting me. He never lent a hand when I needed it. He only reached out when he wanted something. I was quiet, studious, and preferred my own company, while Nathaniel mirrored our father's rough, boisterous personality. I was direct and unfiltered in speech, which apparently clashed with my mother's ideal image of a perfect child. Nathaniel mocked me endlessly for my height, my glasses, and even the smallest personal quirks. He invaded my privacy, reading my diary and reporting back to my mom, who would laugh off the intrusion. I reported him repeatedly, but my cries fell on deaf ears. Sometimes he even tampered with my food, stones in cereal, bits of spoiled vegetables, anything to provoke me. My mother excused it as brothers bonding, though no bonding I knew ever involved near harm or constant humiliation. Things escalated. At school, he sided with bullies who tormented me. He joined them in calling me names, ugly runt, hairy freak, and encouraged them to physically attack me. Once, during an argument whose topic I've long forgotten, he told me to take my own life. That one pierced my soul during a period when my mental health was fragile. My father eventually intervened, finally seeing through Nathaniel's long-term bullying. He threatened to call the police if Nathaniel didn't change. That confrontation was a turning point. For the first time, I felt seen and validated. Around that time, I began MMA training. My father insisted I needed to stand up to bullies, not just at school but in life. I dedicated myself completely, balancing intense training with my studies. The transformation was incredible, physically, mentally, and emotionally. But Nathaniel remained a thorn. Once, he stole the money I had saved for months from doing chores. When I caught him, I didn't hesitate. I punched him square in the face, retrieved my money, and threw him back. He cried like a baby, a sound so foreign to our household that even my mother froze in disbelief. That day, Nathaniel realized he could no longer bully me. From then on, our relationship became a tense standoff. Years later, I left for university, escaping the toxic home environment. There, I met Emma at a campus event. She was intelligent, witty, and everything I had dreamed of. By the final year, we were expecting our first child and decided to marry. Our marriage, for a while, was peaceful. I believed Emma to be my soulmate. I never pursued other women, I was content and loyal. But life has a cruel sense of timing. Emma was unfaithful not once, but twice in subtle, yet devastating ways, first with a colleague, then with an old flame from high school. In both instances, I chose forgiveness, thinking young people make mistakes. However, 3 months ago, my world collapsed completely. Emma confessed she had been seeing someone for a long time, and that our son might not be mine. My heart sank as she revealed the father, Lucas. The same brother who had haunted my childhood, who had tormented me relentlessly, was the biological father of the child I loved as my own. She described how Lucas had been charming and polite whenever he visited, gradually gaining her trust and affection. What began as harmless flirtation turned into a prolonged affair behind my back, sneaking off during supposed work trips and family gatherings. My mind reeled with nausea as the betrayal unfolded. I remained calm outwardly, but inside I was shattering. I packed my belongings, leaving Emma in tears and disbelief. The betrayal was complete. Lucas had invaded my marriage, my family, and my life. Confronting my parents, I exposed both Lucas and Emma's duplicity. My father, a man of stern principles, immediately took action. He berated Lucas for his betrayal and cut him off from all financial support. Lucas, the once favored child, now stood exposed, rejected, and powerless. Legal proceedings followed. With evidence of the affair and a paternity test confirming the truth, I divorced Emma. Lucas now bore full responsibility for the child, while I reclaimed my independence. Since then, I've rebuilt my life. I've focused on work, therapy, and self-improvement, cutting toxic influences entirely. My relationship with my parents improved, especially my father, who treats me as a trusted equal rather than a child under his protection. Lucas struggles to find footing, dependent on menial jobs, and estranged from the family he once manipulated. As for Emma and Lucas, they raise my son together, a fact I cannot bear to witness. I continue to heal, knowing I was betrayed yet survived, and perhaps, for the first time, truly understand my own strength.